Today we embark on taking my beloved Stoke City back to the Premier League. Yes, they are my team. I absolutely love them.
There will be no Potters in the Premier League next season. It's the end of an era for Stoke City. A decade at the top table has come to an end in the cruelest fashion here against Crystal Palace this afternoon.
Ever since we got relegated from the Premier League, it's been absolute heartbreak for us, and it's about time we turned our forms round and took them back to where they belong. Stoke's best finish since going down has been 14th in the league. You can see here that we have finished 16th, 15th, 14th for 2 seasons, and then back down to 16th. Things need to change. Things have slowly started to improve by the quality of players that have been brought into Stoke City. As you can see here from Ben Pearson, an absolute ball-winning midfielder, Butterberger, a well-rounded box-to-box midfielder as well. Haksabanovic as well, a winger on the left-hand side, is going to be an absolute threat for any championship defence. Vidigal is just a flare oozing out of this man's body. And then a big target man of Wesley. Make sure you keep an eye out for Wesley through this episode. He is going to be phenomenal for us. You don't want to miss him. With these players in, this is the formation I'm going to rock in the tactic. It is one of them all gung-ho at you. If you score 2 goals, we're going to score 3 past you. That's kind of what we are going for with this formation. Also, you will see up there that we are going for 2 striker formation. The reason we are going for a 2 striker formation is because of these 2 wonder kids that are in the Stoke youth team. That is none other than Emre Tezgal, an English-Turkish player that is absolutely phenomenal at scoring goals, and also Nathan Lowe, another fantastic youth prospect that are going to shine all the way through this series. I can't wait to use them. They're going to be absolutely brilliant. Unfortunately, not a lot of money in the transfer window, but we have got the good players, so we don't really need to buy any. So I'm going to invest that money into our staffs, because if you have a look at the staffs, yeah, coaching not very good, and also scouting awful. Let's go redo these. We pick up a few coaches, as you can see there. Dennis Bergkamp comes in as a coach. We're going to be the top goal scorers of the league, surely, with that man in the backroom staff. Staff is now looking a little bit better. We still need a few more scouts, but we'll worry about that when the time comes to it. But I'm glad the coaching staff is a lot better. Pre-season was absolutely brilliant. We did pick up a loss against our second team, but if you don't do that, then you aren't playing the game properly. But as you can see there, some brilliant results. So getting a 2-2 against Ajax, I'll take that all day. First game of the season, and we host Rotherham at our place, and we start with their ground running. Laurent getting a long shot, low past the goalkeeper, gives us a 1-goal lead. And not that further on, we actually double our tally with a beautiful well-worked goal. Laurent getting involved yet again for Lloris to get in there. Great finish, showing just what we wanted to do in this opening game of the season. As we move the ball down this left-hand side, Whip comes in, Campbell's there, and Laurent being absolutely phenomenal in this CM position. He has been clinical for us in this first game, showing that he wants to fight for these positions, because there's a lot of players in there, as Campbell slots it away with his left foot, giving us a 4-goal lead. We do get a free kick. This is all still in the first half as well, and May gets a lovely finish on the bounce from a volley. Into the second half we go with this 5-goal lead, kind of comfortable with what was actually going on. We whip the ball in, and May is there just to slot it away to give us 6 goals. And then in the dying stages of the game, an unbelievable free kick from Haksabanovic gets us a 7-goal victory there. What a way to open up the opening game of the season. We now have a cup game, and I try and give Nathan Lowe a run out, but unfortunately he is injured, so I send him back to the under-21 squad, and then I bring up Emre Tezgal as well to see if he can have a knock, see what goes, and he's injured as well. So the plan to bring them 2 in the cup games kind of went a little off as we were both injured. Tyrese gets us a hat-trick, and Wesley gets us a goal to give us a 4-3 victory over Wigan in the Carabao Cup. And that also leads us to picking up a tie against Fulham. So it's a Premiership club. Hopefully we can do well there. We then play one of the IRL teams that are predicted to go up this year in Ipswich. It's going to be a tough one, but my question to you is, who do you think is going to go up in the Championship in the real life? I think Leicester are going to storm it, and I think Ipswich will as well. Who do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Things weren't actually the best here. As you can see that Kai Havertz gets 2 yellow cards within 6 minutes of the game even starting. I don't even know how it's physically possible, but the man actually does it, and that didn't really do us any harm as we take a short corner and we find the ball in the back of the net from Clark. A great well-worked goal, and then we have an in-swinging free kick that gets played all the way across, picked up by Ben Wilmot, who finds an on-running Tyrese Campbell to double our tally to 2-0. But now Ipswich kind of flick that switch there and think, you know what? We need a goal. We need a goal fast. It's an absolute rip snorters. We changed the highlight speed down because it was a little bit too fast for us down there. It's a great strike, giving Ipswich a goal back. They do then have the momentum, then taking advantage of this 10 men that we have. Ball played, nicely done, well-worked goal into the centre, and it's a fantastic finish from Ipswich, giving us 2-2, drawing it level. But as we carry on through in the second half, in the 85th minute, an absolute cracking strike for Haksabanovic gets us a win, and we win 3-2. We then pick up a 5-0 2-0 victory over Watford, a crazy result. May gain a hat-trick, Tyrese Campbell and Wesley gain on the score sheet as well. We then get a 2-2 draw, dropping our first points of the season against Millwall away from home, picking up goals from Maris and also Wesley. Next up is going to be Fulham in the Cup. We play away from home. Time for Lowe to actually make an appearance. You can tell he was trying to fight for a position in this team, as early on in the game, 7 minutes in, he actually slots one through and gets through on goal and scores for us. So he scores on his debut, making it for us. Unbelievable scenes for him. And then Fulham just kind of answer back, easily just take our defence away, showing the Premiership quality a little bit more than us. But we do answer back yet again, taking a 2-1 lead. And yes, it's that man again, Nathan Lowe, gain on the score sheet. That's a brace for him in his first start for us. Absolute great scenes, but unfortunately Fulham, like I say, being a little bit too strong, managed to get the ball into the box. It's a great header, and it's a 2-2, which does end up going to penalties. We then missed a penalty in the penalty shootout, and then something crazy happened. We kind of changed the rotation of who takes the penalties. Luckily for us, though, it was enough to see us go through, and we advanced through to the Carabao Cup next round. And then we are rewarded by playing Liverpool in the next round. We can dream of another day like this, surely. Back to league action for us, and it's a 2-1 victory against Preston. Jordan Thompson and Wesley gain on the score sheet to give us the 3 points. We carry on the great form with a great victory over Norwich, a late Tyrese Campbell goal. Tyrese gained another brace to give us a 3-1 victory away to Huddersfield, and the stats kind of prove that we deserve the win. Run doesn't stop with a 2-1 victory over Hull. Wesley gained a goal and an own goal, giving us 3 points. All things green as the start of the season for us. That awesome form puts us top of the Championship, absolutely cruising, but we have that big game now in the Cup. It's going to be Liverpool. We start the game with a very high press against Liverpool, and we actually get away with it and sneakily get a goal from Campbell pointing into the back of the net. We then double the tally straight after as well with a nice free kick over the top, and it's none other than our youngster, Mr. Nathan Lowe. He deserves a first team shot, I'm sure of it. Liverpool do get a goal back with such a well-worked goal from them. You can't fault that. It was well played. And then they do equalise in the 50th to 60th minute there. Nice work goal. Joe Gomez gets a little bit lucky with that one, and he does take us to penalties. Johnson does this on the first penalty, and I'm not going to lie, guys, Liverpool just smash all 5 in. You don't see it, we move on. We have a game every neutral feasts off. A 6-4 victory against Bristol City. Haksanovic getting a goal, Wesley getting a hat-trick, Laurent getting a goal as well, and also Vidigal again on the score sheet. A great game. A tough test now for us as we have back-to-back relegated sides, and that does not help as Armstrong slots it away, gifted from our defence there. But we do actually get a goal back, and it's going to be a wonderful, well-worked goal from Wesley as he picks up the ball from outside the box, strikes it, and Ralph Sitting gives a 1-1. We then take on Leicester away, and a miscommunication for the defenders there opens us up, and Jamie Vardy rifles the ball in the back of the net to give them a early 1-0 lead. But in the second half, we do kind of find a bit of spirit, bounce back, a great ball, and Wesley, who is on absolute fire right now, brings it level. We're in the later stages of the game. It is going to be a well-worked goal from Leicester as they move the ball around, credit across, and it's an easy tap-in for Iheanacho as a 2-1, our first defeat of the league. Unfortunately for us, Wutzberger did pick up an injury, but thankfully it's only going to be 2 to 3 weeks, but it is a pulled knee ligament. We still remain top of the table, but Leicester are now level points after their win against us. Our run kind of continues as we only pick up a 1-1 with Sunderland at home, Ryan May actually bailing us out. We then play Leeds at home. We managed to get a goal in the later stages of the game. It's going to go all the way through, and Ryan May yet again bailing us out. We then head over to Middlesbrough, gain an own goal. Luckily, gives us a 1-goal lead, and then we double our tally in the later stages of the game. A very nice over-the-top ball finding Ryan May yet again. This man is on fire off the post and gives us a 2-0 victory. This is the current table as it stands, and can we just take a look at Southampton and Birmingham? Not lost a game yet, undefeated. I'm not having that. We then pick up a 4-1 victory against Cardiff. Tyrese Campbell gain a hat-trick, and Lloris gain a goal as well. We then pick up another 4-1 victory away from home to Coventry. Ryan May gain 2 goals, Wesley gain 1, and Vidigal gain another. Blackburn stop the win streak as we draw 1-1 with them at home. Brian May again saving the day. We pick up another 4-1 victory away from home to QPR. McNally again on the score sheet. Wesley, Tyrese Campbell and Wutzberger. Sheffield Wednesday do the unthinkable, beating Leicester, and that manages to put us top of the table as we head into December. We start December with a trip away to newly promoted side Plymouth, and that's an absolute rocket from Laurent there to give us a 1-goal lead. But Plymouth don't take this down nicely as they come straight back, get a ball whipped into the box, and it's a nice finish in the centre there. That makes it 1-1. Then they do get a second goal, putting it through, find themselves in acres of space, and it's a lovely finish, slotted away past the goalkeeper, never going to get that. And in the second half, 70th minute, they make it 3-1 with a lovely finish yet again from this Plymouth side, playing some beautiful football. And I'm going to let them off purely because they do have the nicest kits in the Championship. That green and gold kit is just phenomenal. But Vidigal does get on the score sheet to a consolation of a 3-2 loss. We then host Sheffield Wednesday, and we get a little bit lucky with this goal as Haksanovic gets a goal from nothing there. Gives us a 1-goal lead, but the second one is a very nice, well-worked free kick. Somewhat off the training ground as Tyrese hits it with his left, bends it in, gives a 2-goal lead. Unfortunately, there's a misplaced pass in the centre there. Some of them we're commonly known for. Gets us away, and they get a goal back. It is now 2-1. It's going to be a throw-in the second half as well. Goes all the way across, and we actually rifle in as Leris gets us a goal there. Nicely done. It's going to be another attack for Sheffield Wednesday down the left-hand side as they whip the ball in. Thought the goalkeeper was going to get it. That man is in no man's land. 3-2. But fortunately for us, we do get a nice little short corner. Worked very well as Vidigal whips it in, and there's Ryan May to rescue the 3 points. We then host Swansea at home, and we do really well, scoring a goal in the early stages as Wesley rifles it past the goalkeeper's right-hand side. We then pick up the ball, and it's going to be played to Haksanovic as well as he plays it over the top, finding Vidigal, and he slots it away in that same position. I don't think this goalkeeper likes moving to his right-hand side there. Second half, though, Swansea are going to get a goal back to put a bit of momentum into their side as they play all the way across. And it's a nice little tap in there, makes it 2-1. But luckily for us, we actually battled on really well, showed the determination of this team. A lovely through ball through, and May, right-hand side again, the goalkeeper, he must not like diving on that side at all. But a long kick up top, gets it, finds Vidigal in there, puts it back, good ball movement, 1-2 footballs, balls all the way across, and you know it's bad when Ben Pearson is scoring a goal for you. Put a nail in the coffin. Here's another well-worked goal, finds Berg on the edge of the box, comes all the way through, has a second chance at it, and rifles it in to give us a 5-1 victory. We then pick up a 2-0 victory against Millwall. Tyrese Campbell and Johnson again on the score sheet. Unfortunately for us, we end the year on a bad run. A 1-0 loss against Birmingham and also a 3-1 loss against Watford. That puts us 4th in the league, and also Birmingham did finally lose, and it was against Plymouth. I will happily take that. Not a bad run considering we might be a mid-table side and we're halfway through the season. We have a little goosey gander to see what the board think of us, and they are very disappointed that we are not working to the wage budgets, which I was unaware of. With that, I go to Lewis Baker and try and offer him out as it is the January window, and I also try to offer out Dwight Gale. We then play Ipswich at home, and they score a wonderful header from a corner. You can't fault that. And in the second half, they score another one, and we take a 2-0 defeat. We then play Everton away in the FA Cup, and you know it's Mr. Cupman. That is Nathan Lowe scoring for us, giving us a 1-goal lead. Unfortunately for us, though, Everton were a little bit too strong as they moved down this left-hand side, finding a great pass into the centre, and that's always going to be a tap-in. And then they just counter-press here. As you can see, many players getting forwards. They move the ball around, nice little ball through, and it's a great finish from Onana there. And then the final nail in the coffin as they open us up completely. There's a massive gap there, cuts across, and it's never going to be missed. Calvert-Lewin getting a goal for them. 3-1. We hadn't been getting the results, but it was nice to finally play Rotherham, who you knew you could probably get a good result from, especially with defending like that as Wesley puts us 1-0 up. We get a ball whipped into the box, and it's going to be Wesley for his brace there, in off the crossbar. Great delivery. And then we get another one, and it is a Wesley hat-trick. That is 2 goals from corners. Great stuff. And then a consolation goal for Rotherham in the dying seconds of the game just makes it 3-1, and then that way we get back to our winning ways. We have a clash at the top of the table, and it is going to be against Birmingham, and they come out with an unbelievable ball, finding a goal in the early stages of the game. Luckily for us, we do answer back with Thompson playing it down to Berger, and Berger finding Tyrese Campbell in a lot of space, and that's a fantastic finish from him. Birmingham weren't going to take that though, as they push forward and try and get a second goal, and that's exactly what they do. Carvin is open, and I don't know what's happened there. I don't know if there's a deflection, but somehow it goes in. But luckily for us, we do dig deep, and we're going to get that ball. Campbell and Vidigal kind of getting lucky, but linking up really well. It's a great finish. It ends 2-2. One for the future here, as we do give Saul Sidibe a new contract. We then go to Sunderland at the Stadium of Light, and they get an early goal, putting them 1 goal up, but we do get a answer back. Straight away, the ball across. Great free kick and great delivery as well. But there is another goal for Sunderland that will give them a 2-1 lead, and it's an absolute wonderful volley from the edge of the box there. But we do come back as Wesley tries to get the ball in. It's a good save. Ball way across. Lloris back, finds Wesley for his second attempt and puts it in. And in the 91st minute is going to be some crazy football trying to be played by Sunderland. We just capitalise on it as the ball comes across, and it's an easy tap in for Tyrese Campbell. 3-2 victory. We offered Tyrese Campbell a brand new contract because his work has been wonderful for us, and he would take us up to the Premiership for sure. One thing that I didn't realise is that he has a release clause in his previous contract and he didn't accept this contract in the right time. And then the very next day, Sheffield United buy out his release clause. I think we just lost Tyrese Campbell. So Tyrese Campbell leaves, and the very next email is that transfer deadline has passed. We don't get anyone in. We have now lost one of our main strikers. You don't need strikers when Ben Wilmot can whip a ball in just like that as we host Leicester. Leicester unfortunately do come back though straight away, and it's going to be a goal from Jamie Vardy, gives them a 1-1 situation. And in the 41st minute, it's going to be another goal. Ball whipped in from the short corner there. Nicely done as well. It's going to find Harry Winks in a lot of space as he flies it into the top bins, and that is going to be the game. We then travel to Blackburn looking for a win. Another short corner worked really well here as we pass it around, and it's going to find Berger, and what a strike. That is goal of the month if I have ever seen one. We do then pick up a penalty, and just put it in the back of the net, gives us a 2-goal lead. And then another corner is going to get whipped in, and the big man Wesley with a powerful header gives us a 3-0 lead. Blackburn do try and get back into the game, and they do get a goal. A lovely ball over the top. Just that line a little bit too high that we might tweak a little bit, and then things got a little bit more nervous as Blackburn then push on, but it was in the late stages of the game as another ball over the top, finding Gallagher, takes a touch, and he absolutely puts it in back net. 3-2, we held on though. We now have a run of the bottom 3 teams. All these teams are in the relegation. QPR, Coventry, and Cardiff. Surely 3 wins here. That's exactly what happened as we picked up a 3-2 win against QPR. Wesley game 2 and Berg game 1. Coventry won 4-2. Haksanovic got us a hat-trick and May got us a goal as well. Cardiff we won 4-2. Wesley, Hovert, Wilmot and Haksanovic again scoring on the score sheet. And that leaves us 1 point behind Southampton, top of the championship. Can we also appreciate the 22 goals that Wesley has scored for us as well? Haksanovic gets a player of the month as well, and he's been on fine form for us, getting us them results. We then play away against Leeds, and we actually start off really well, getting a goal in the early stages. A nice little cut across, and Wesley is there. Who else would it have been to get us a 1-goal lead? And we are actually starting Nathan Lowe, and guess what? This guy actually gets on the score sheet yet again. Every single time we play him, he seems to just be there and knocking around, and he gives us a 2-goal lead. Unfortunately for us though, it was going to spark something for Leeds as they now push on and try and create something as Wilfred gets through all the way. What a goal that is. Singly just dribble past every single one of our players and then slots it in. Well played. We do get the ball though in the centre of the field, moving it around nicely as Clark plays it down, finds Spanovic, and guess who is there again? That is our man Nathan Lowe. Gets us a goal, gives us a 3-1 lead. But Leeds are not going to take that line down as they push on. We do a little bit of a bad clearance there, finds an acre of space, and it just knocked it straight past. And unfortunately for us, it is going to be a 91st minute equaliser for Leeds. We nearly had the full 3 points, but we don't. It is going to be a 3-3, and it's points shared at Allen Road. We then pick up a 2-0 victory against Preston away from home. Wesley and also Josh Laurent again on the score sheet. Some big games being played as we host Norwich, and also if you can see up there, Leicester do host Southampton. We pick up a 0-0 against Norwich, but if you look at the stats, we should have won this game. Leicester managed to pick up a 2-1 victory over Southampton. Jamie Vardy haunting us yet again. That win puts Leicester back in second position and puts us in third, 5 points off Southampton, but only 2 behind Leicester. Wesley sitting third in the top scorer, but David Washington is currently sitting top of 30 on loan from Chelsea at Birmingham. We get our youth take, and it is not very promising, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit worried about this year's. Probably won't sign any of them. We then pick up an away win against Hull. Josh Laurent getting 2 goals. We then host Huddersfield, and we get a nice goal early on in the stages of the game to just give us a little bit of a relaxation. A lovely slotted finish away from Stevens there. Our right back getting involved. We do double Italy as well with a ball over the top, finding a wonderful Wesley on running to the ball, and he just slots it away. Easy goal, 2 goals. Huddersfield do find a way to get back into this game though as we move this ball down the right hand side, kind of where we've been a little bit falling away, and the goalkeeper just misses it there, and it's just headed in. They pick up the ball as well again from a loose clearance. Once again down this right hand side, another ball coming in, and it's just slotted away, and it's a great finish for them. But luckily for us, we do decide no, we are going to win this game as we get the ball into the box, try to anyway, moving it around. Good maul, and Vidigal with a great strike. Luckily again, deflection. It gives him a 3-2 lead, and we just carry on piling the pressure on as McNally gets the ball forward. A great ball over the top, finding Vidigal, who hits it across, and Wesley gets us a 4-2 scoreline. But that's not it, and that's not over. We do try and get one more goal, and that's exactly what we do down at the left-hand side. Moving it around, Vidigal with an unbelievable strike. It's going to be, rifles it at the back of the net, and gives us a 5-2 victory. And then the unthinkable happens. Norwich actually beat Leicester to put us back into second position. We then host West Brom at the Bet365, and it's a must-win for us, and we start off really well with Laurent getting us a goal on the stroke of half-time. We do then double our tally into the second half with a nice worked goal here, ball across, and Aksanovic gets us a goal, doubles it 2-0, and then a great little deflection there, makes it 3-0 for us, and this is going to be a great one for the Potters, a win over rivals, and not just a win, a kind of a thumping as well as a 4-0 victory as Berger just puts it in for 4-0. I had to double take and rub my eyes twice as I see Birmingham beat Leicester 5-1 away from home. That keeps us in the second spot and actually gives it 4 points with 3 games left to play. We then pick up a 1-0 victory against Swansea away from home. Ryan May again is a penalty, but as a trip to Hillsborough goes disappointingly bad as we pick up a loss. Wesley getting a goal, but it wasn't enough. 2-1. We have 3 games left to play and we're only 1 point ahead of third. I think the title is out of the question as Southampton are 6 points clear. We get an offer in for Lyndon Gooch and we actually do a little bit of negotiation, and there you go, he is off our wage books now. We now host Plymouth, and also Leicester do host West Brom. Could our rivals actually do us a favour? We start the game all guns blazing as we pick up the ball. Wesley in a one-on-one situation slots it away for a great goal. Plymouth do find a way to answer back though, finding themselves in acres of space from a counter-attack as they move all the way forward. No one even going to touch him, and it's a great strike, kind of a Yeboah-esque goal if you will. And then Plymouth do double their goal ratio by getting another one, and that puts them 2-1 up as they once again find the acre of space, and another rocket got into the back of the net. But the resilience from our Stoke City side shows just why we are promotion bound as we brought the ball into the box. It's a great knock as well. Wesley finds an on-running Ryan May, and he just puts it in for 2-2. We then get a corner. We're going to play short as we like to do that now. It's been very effective. Ball whipped in, and Wesley there gets his second, doubles it and gets a brace. And then we see this game off. Running down the winger, Stevens tries to get the ball in, does a very good well as Levis gets the ball across, and Aksanovic is there to rifle the ball in to give us a 4-2 victory. West Brom actually beat Leicester, and that puts Birmingham into the third position. They are 2 points behind us, and we've still got 2 games to go. But we do have a big one. We do have to play Southampton away. We then head to Southampton and we start really well. In the 12th minute, we pick up a goal. Well-worked throw-in. Aksanovic gets us a goal. Rifles it in the back of the net, but that lead only lasts till the second half as a penalty gets rifled into the back of the net and it ends 1-1. Birmingham do pick up a win as well, and it is all squares as we head into the last game of the season. We play Bristol City. We host them, so we need our 12th man, the fans, to get behind them and push for this promotion. So it all comes down to this, the big one, the last day of this season. As you can see up there, Birmingham do play Norwich. That could be a tough one for them. We left this one a little bit late. At the 65th minute, Ryan May finds himself in acres of space and slots the ball away for a nice finish. He then gets a second from the penalty spot. I don't think he's missed a penalty this year. He's been absolutely phenomenal for us. And then in the 90th minute, from a short corner, yes, it is none other than Nathan Lowe scoring on the day that we get promoted to the Premiership. Unbelievable. We also break the record for Stoke's highest points in the Championship. And the moment you've all been waiting for, we get 36 million in the transfer window with 650k in the wages.
The roof comes off.
Ticker 147.
Guided Stoke City back to the top flight of English football.
You saw that right. In the last episode, we gained promotion to the Premier League. With a little help from Wesley, we smashed our highest points tally. With the generosity of the board, they give us 36 million to spend in transfer budgets and also giving us 650k in the wages. With that money, we bring in Cohen Casteels. He is going to be our new goalkeeper. He's full of experience and he is a very talented goalkeeper. That's what we need in this Premier League. We then go on to spend most of our cash on Harry Winks. Unfortunately for Leicester, they didn't get promoted, so we're kind of stealing off them. 25 million, it's a lot of our budget. I'll take the risk on him. We then go and bring in a new wing back within Brendan Williams. We get him on a free release by Manchester United. Once again, experience, definitely can do a job. Then we bring in a replacement for Haksabanovic. We are trying to replace as he's gone back to his parent club. And we bring in a guy called Adson. He looks very good, very talented. We just hope he can live up to the expectation of what we had with Haksabanovic. And then last but not least, we bring in another wing back on the other side this time. And it's going to be Ryan Sessegnon, another freebie we picked up. Once again, experience can definitely do a job. And I think we brought in some good business there. But the real question is, what do you think? Do you think I've done enough to survive? And what signings would you have made? Leave them in the comments. Unfortunately for us, our brand new signing, Adson, picks up a 3 to 4 month injury by breaking his ankle. Not ideal. I had a look to see how the squad was developing and I noticed that we were still shy of a centre-half. Before any of you say anything, I had no money and a panic brought on this guy. I then brought in Callum Chambers for 2.9 million, trying to cover that centre-half position. We have a mixed bag of standard in oppositions for our pre-season friendlies, and the fact we only lost to AC Milan and Sporting Lisbon, I thought that was a good pre-season. And of course, our first game in the Premiership is a trip to Old Trafford. With the team raring to go, we finally start our Premier League campaign. Things don't start very well for us as Manchester United get an early goal coming all the way through, cutting back. Shaw tries to hit it, it goes all the way through and deflected, and that is going to be a 1-0 lead. Within seconds, Man United go and push, and yes, they get a second. Lovely work goals. Højlund puts it across, and it's a great finish. Easy one as well. And then they add even more pressure by pushing on and getting another goal. Yes, that is going to be 3-0 in the space of 23 minutes. Ref, don't bother checking. And then it goes even more. 30 minutes, and it's another goal. How easy was that from them? And they are just piling on the pressure. And yes, in the 35th minute, this is going to be Manchester United 5-0 up. How easy was that for Rashford? We're going down. We're getting relegated. I'm off. We're getting relegated. After I came back and composed myself, we saw a bit of positivity. We actually scored a goal as Lloris gets the ball down the right-hand side, whips it in, and our main man Wesley, who fully deserves his Premiership start for last season, gets us a goal. And then we go back to being sloppy as a misplaced pass goes all the way through and Rashford slots it away. I think that's 6-1. A corner is going to get whipped in, played short, and then whipped in, and it goes all the way through. I don't know who is marking anyone there. That's 7-1. And then pretty much a repeat of what's just happened as they work the ball in. No one's there tackling, and that's 8-1. A corner for us, though, which is going to spark a little bit of hope in us some way, but we do get the ball all the way across, and our main man, Wesley, gets another goal for us. But it's going to be the final dagger into our chest here, as somehow Manchester United get away with a 9-2 victory. Yes, 9-2. You heard that right. We then pick up a 3-2 loss against Wolves. Benrahma gained a 80-minute goal, but it's nice to see Nathan Lowe scoring his first goal in the Premiership. The bad run unfortunately continues as Crystal Palace beat us 2-1. Even after a man sent off, we still couldn't get the win. Olsen Edouard getting goals for Palace. We finally pick up a win, a 5-1 victory, but it is against Harrogate, so I feel a little bad. Carabao Cup though, next round, here we come. We then draw Manchester City in the Carabao Cup. That's us out. We then play Manchester City in the league at our place, and they take an early goal, just going up in the space of 5 minutes. It's a great finish from Bernardo Silva. Things just piled onto us as well as Manchester City kept on pushing, breaking us down with the ball over the top, and it is iRobot Erling Haaland to slot that away. He's just showing off hitting it with his right foot now. Ref, don't check that. Then they make it 3 in the second half. A nice ball movement there, just moving it around. Bernardo Silva finding Phil Foden. He slots it away, and that's a cracking finish from Phil Foden. There is a bit of light at the end of the tunnel as we do pick up a goal, and it's going to be all the way down from Ryan Sessegnon. Finds Wesley, and it wouldn't be anyone else, would it really? 3-1. We then have a trip to Fulham, and we actually start the game pretty well. Yes, you heard that right. Vidigal running all the way down the wing, goes all the way through, and just does it on his own. A great finish, but in quick succession there, Fulham decide, no, we're going to equalise. And they go up the other end and put the ball in the back of the net as a ball splitting our defence finds Pereira, and that's a great finish from him. We do get a penalty, and it's going to be a lovely little finish there. Ryan May, he did it all last season. But once again, the resilience of Fulham shows here as they nick one straight back and make it 2-2 at Ama Traore. But we actually show a little bit of fight in us this time, and we actually get another goal. A lovely ball into the box, and that is a brilliant header to give us a 3-2 lead. And we just finished this game off. Yes, we actually finished finish this game off. We get our first win in the Premiership with a great ball through, and that's a lovely finish, slotted away to take a 4-2 victory. We keep the momentum as we pick up a 2-1 victory over Aston Villa. Wesley haunting his former side. We take that. I noticed we were conceding a few goals here, so all I did is lower the trigger press and lower the line of defensive, so we're not actually going too far forward and getting caught from behind. You saw that happen with the Fulham game. We then draw 3-3 in the Carabao Cup, but unfortunately they knock us out on penalties. Positive we score 3 past them, and then we lose to Liverpool. Not bad. 3-2 away from home. I'll take that. League table sees us sitting 15th. I'm quite happy with that, but Newcastle down there, what's going on there? We then pick up a 3-3 against Brighton. A real good result for me. Wesley bailing us out in the 80th minute. We then try to bring Emile Smith-Rowe in on loan, but he tells us sod off. Adson comes back from his injury and he finally gets his debut in the Stoke City shirt. We pick up a 1-1 against Forest, Wittenberger being the hero and the villain in the same match. We then lock in Tezgel to a 4-year contract at the football club. He will be our future. We then play Arsenal at our place, and a little bit of delaying on the ball allows them to break through, and Martin Odegaard with a fantastic finish for them. It's a big but. We do actually get a goal back. A nice little finish from the penalty spot. It gives us a 1-1. We then have the game of the season with a 4-4 against Norwich at Carroll Road. We would have got 3 points if it wasn't for that pesky Liam Gibbs getting an 89th minute equaliser. With that run of form, it sees us drop into the relegation zone. In the relegation battle, we pick up a 4-2 victory. 2 late goals from Burnley mean nothing to us. We unfortunately lose 2-0 away to Chelsea. We have another entertaining game as we draw 3-3 with Tottenham. That Tottenham game came at a cost, so as you can see there, Ryan May is out for 2 to 3 months, Addison is out for 5 to 7 weeks, and Brendan Williams is out to 5 to 6 weeks. Injury crisis. The show must go on though as we host Southampton at our place, and 2 newly promoted sides. We need to get them revenge. Zavorez gets a goal for them, but we bounce back in style and get us a goal, making it 1-1 as the ball's moved across. Look how much space we are in over there as Lloris just whacks the ball in the back of the net to give us a 1-1. We then pile on the pressure as well as Sessegnon whips that ball in, a great ball in, puts it in the mixer, and that is an unbelievable finish from Harry Winks. And another free kick is going to be put into the box. Set piece simulator, I will go for that. So we move the ball around, and that is a wonderful finish from Vidigal. We get a little bit excited as we have a couple of A's in our youth intake. Back into Premier League action, and Newcastle absolutely spankers. We then host West Ham, and unfortunately it's a goalkeeping mistake. I'm putting it down to give us a loss 1-0. We then play Everton, and Wesley's going to score a penalty for us in the second half, and then we double our tally with a nice little well-worked throw-in, moving it around, and the ball's played into the box as Tezgel slots it away. We then pick up a 1-1 draw with Brighton away from home. Vidigal again on the score sheet. We then host Liverpool at the Bet365, and we get off to a very good start. Sessegnon puts the ball away across. I don't know how Tezgel's got that in, but it counts. 1-0 up. We then build on our lead as well as we move this ball through the centre. A great little run from Tezgel. Yet again, finding Wesley. Debatable of being offside. Referee gives it 2-0. Liverpool do step up the game though and try and get a goal back, working it down this left-hand side. A nice little ball into Diaz, and that's an easy finish for Gakpo. But we don't actually crumble. Yes, you heard that right. We actually get through this. A ball over the top, finding a great run through, and that is a cheeky chip from Watson. And Watson is a youth player, just so you know. Look at this young New Zealand lad. We then lose 4-2 in the FA Cup, but it's nothing to worry about as we're focused on the league. We then lose 4-0 to Brentford. Kevin Shade getting a hat-trick. We then host Nottingham Forest, and I don't know what the goalkeeper is doing there, but Wesley nods it in for an easily 1-goal lead. Adson game part of the team as well as he finds an absolute fantastic ball for the on-running Ryan Sessegnon, and he just slots it away past the goalkeeper for a 2-0 victory. The January transfer window is closing, but we do see Simon Adringa, who looks phenomenal, we can loan in. Absolute rapid player with a lot of flair, can definitely work on that left-hand side. Strike up a deal with Brighton, and he comes into the squad. Al Ali come in for Harry Winks, offering 41 million, but it is over installments. I reject this and try to get a little bit more, but they're having none of it. Now, would you have sold Harry Winks for that price? Let me know in the comments, or would you try to get more for him? We then travel to Goodison Park, and we hit the ground running with a nice early goal. Adringa getting involved, again assist on his debut. We'll take that. Wesley finishing it very nicely. We do double the tally though with a nice well-worked throw-in. These are coming in very clutch for us as we get the ball down to Berger, and he just rifles it with a little grass burner there. We do then triple our tally to 3-0. Lovely well-worked goal yet again. Moved it down the wings. Ball come across, a deadly ball in, and that is going to be an own goal. Everton don't take this sitting down though as they push on through the middle. A nice little overlap there as Calvert-Lewin gets the ball, pushes through our defenders, and strikes the ball in the back of their net. And with the momentum switch there, Everton Everton are going to push down this right-hand side yet again. Going to get the ball whipped in all the way across. It's a good header back stick. Keeper does bad, 3-2. But if it was going to be a time for us to get a goal, it was in the late stages. And there he is, Adringa, getting a wonderful header, showing why he was worth the loan. We then carry on this win streak with a 4-2 victory over Wolves. Nice to see Nathan Lowe getting on the score sheet. We then host Manchester United at the Bet365 Arena, and it is a crazy result. Ryan Lowe getting a score in the early stages. Manchester United put a little bit of press on us, one-touch football, and Højlund just rifles it to the back of net for a 1-1. We then get a throw-in worked in. We get a little bit lucky with it as the ball falls straight back to us, and then Berger is just going to do what he does best, and that low-driven shot goes in the back of the net. Unfortunately for us, though, Manchester United do push back, and it's a lovely volley, great Van Persie-esque volley there, giving it a 2-2. We do put pressure in the centre there, and Berger's going to try and play a ball through to our wingers. Gets a little bit of a deflection. Typical Onar and Harry Maguire there, but Wesley 3-2. And in the second half, we push on, trying to just score as many goals as we possibly can as Ryan Sessegnon gets the ball into the box, and that is a wonderful strike to give him a 4-2 lead. And it doesn't stop there as we whip the ball in from a corner. Nice ball, touchdown. Ryan Sessegnon is going to pick that ball up, push it into the box, and he does actually get a deflection goal to give us a 5-2 lead. But Manchester United are going to push and try and get a consolation goal, as they will, see if they can push on to get the equaliser. It's a good goal from Anthony, not showing him on his right, but it's going to end 5-3. We then play West Ham away from home. A header comes in, and it's a little bit of a miscommunication as we move the ball around. It's going to get picked up by Zuma, finds a ball through, and that is a wonderful finish to give West Ham a 1-goal lead. They then push on and double the tally in the early stages of the game as they knock the ball across, finds Ward-Prowse in there, and he finishes it nicely. We do push on and try and get a goal for ourselves as Sessegnon gets the ball, tries to cut it round, gets a little bit of a deflection as it comes all the way down, and Lloris gets a goal, but it is only 2-1. We then get back to winning ways with a win over Newcastle. Berger getting a hat-trick for us. With that crazy run, we see ourselves up to 7th. Yes, I know, it is absolutely crazy, but this is a really poor Premier League. We are on 39 points and in Europe. That's how bad it is. We then drew with Southampton 2-2 and picked up a 4-2 victory over Tottenham Hotspurs. We then picked up a 1-0 win over Burnley. Aringa again coming in for clutch. You've been taking and our 5-star potential looks a little bit like this. Maybe he can develop into a player for us. Back into Premier League action, and we pick up a 5-2 win over Norwich. That red card for Ben Gibson just did not help them at all. The Premier League table looks like this, but we do have more games than anyone else around us, and in our next 3 games we do have Manchester City, Arsenal and Chelsea, so we're not going to get any points there. We did go on to lose 3-0 to Manchester City, 1-0 to Arsenal, and we actually pick up a point against Chelsea, 2-2. Not bad. With 3 games left, we do see ourselves in Europe, but like I say, other teams around us do have more games to play, so we will probably drop out of that. I'm not sure if the boys were on the holiday mode or something, but we do lose 4-2 to Crystal Palace and also lose 4-1 to Aston Villa. Last game of this season, and on that bad run shows that we cannot get Europe, as Newcastle are on 54 points and we're on 50, so it's going to be a mid-table finish for us. So last game of the season at the Bet365, and we do get a cheeky little goal. They kind of put a little bit of pressure on him. I don't know what's happened there. And then Nathan Lowe, the same as last year on the last day of the season, gets us a goal. But unfortunately, it's going to be a penalty that is going to cause a 1-1 end. And that's the end of the season. We finished 10th, 20 points away from the drop zone, which is absolutely massive. Once again, Wesley being our top goal scorer with 18 goals. The board sets us the budget. It's on 45 million and the transfer budget's at 975,000 in the wages. We can definitely work with that. Last season, we managed to finish 10th in the Premier League. This year, we're looking to push one further and potentially get some form of Europa League football. The board have been very generous, giving us a lump sum of cash to spend, and we spend our money wisely. Federico Redondo, a young centre mid, picked up for 7 million from Argentina. We then pick up Ladislav Krejci, hope I have said that right, apologies if I haven't. Another young centre-off, we picked him up for 64k, an absolute steal. Ottavio for a familiar cow for 11 million, another new partnership in centre-offs there. And our steal for me was Anthony Gordon from Newcastle, picked up for £9 million. Not a bad bit of business. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. We only had 2 outs and they were both loans. Some wins and some losses in pre-season, we totally expect that. As long as they are fit and ready to go for the season opener, that's all I'm after. The board then shows showed they're ambitious by saying they only want to attempt to avoid the relegation. We have a few debuts for our first game of the season. 2 centre-halves, Redondo and also Gordon on the wing. As you can see, Lowe and Wesley become our new strike. We do really well holding Chelsea off until the new boy gets a little bit anxious, and unfortunately, that's going to be a 1-0 loss. The players come into us moaning that our goalkeeper situation is a little bit down, so I had to go and buy a goalkeeper, and Murray comes in for 8.5 million from Burnley. Newcastle do come to the Bet365 arena, and they're going to start really well as Isaac pulls back, finds Tonali on the edge of the box, and he just rifles it in with a glorious chance. We then pick up the ball with Rotundo doing what he does best, is getting in there, and also I have no idea what their goalkeeper is, but it's going to be an easy sneak in for Nathan Lowe. We then carry on trying to get the press on as Vidigal tries to get a whip in, can't do it. It's going to get picked up, a lovely ball in, and there is Wesley to give us a 2-1 lead. We then get the third goal by Anthony Gordon running all the way down the wing, flips it up. Wesley tries to come back, and there is Redondo again as a goal, his first as a... Can we just appreciate Anthony Gordon getting play of the match as well? A rotated side for the Carabao Cup tie, and we're going to get the victory over Wolves through penalties. We then get brought back to realisation as we lose 4-1 away from home against West Ham. You honestly couldn't write this as Anthony Gordon is out for 6 to 9 weeks. Ryan May was saying he wanted to explore his options, so I just sold him to Burnley for 15.75 million. Thank you very much. Just take a look at them wages you can see from the Premier League. We are just down at 1.2 million. Man City on 7.7 million a week. That's not going to stop us though as we pick up a 2-0 victory over Fulham. But unfortunately our away curse gets a 5-3 defeat against Spurs. A good one for the neutral. More injuries to our new signings as Otavio gets a 3 to 4 week injury from a pulled calf. Another win in the Carabao Cup as we beat Brentford 1-0 at home. Crystal Palace next at the Bet365 arena, and Edward is going to run down this wing. It's a lovely passing movement here as Decore just slots it away to give Palace a 1-0 lead. Then a free kick is going to come across, and it's a great header and great delivery. Fair play there, 2-0 up. We do actually answer back though with a goal as Williams is going to come down this right hand side, whips the ball in, and it's equally as good from the header there from Wesley, 2-1. After an aggressive half-time team talk, we come out all guns blazing. Just look at Nathan Lowe's first touch there. Finds the ball across to Wesley, and that is 2-2. Berger does pick that ball up in the centre. Going to find Wesley in acres of space, and now look at that for a finish. You give it to his head, his foot, he's going to score. We then get the 3 points as Berger pushes into the box there, finds Lowe, and rocks it in. 4-2 victory. After 6 games, that's going to leave us in 8th position with 9 points. Heading to Old Trafford is never an easy task, but we start very fast and quick as Lloris gets that ball. Lovely first touch, slots it away for a 1-goal lead. Unfortunately for us though, Garnacho is going to prove and show just why he's in this first team with a nice little run and a great finish there to make it 1-1. Varane is going to get a big towering header there, making it 2-1 to United. And then there is a little bit of a miscommunication here from our defender, and that's going to be Rashford just chasing it down, slots it away. It's a 3-1 victory. Our form seems to have taken the Squid Game influence of red light, green light, red light, green light. We draw 1-1 with Norwich, and we break the away curse. We actually get a win against Brentford. Nathan Lowe banging in goals, and he is just developing quite incredibly. Talking of Nathan Lowe, he picks up a hat-trick and the 4-1 victory of Sunderland in the Carabao Cup. We then get drawn against Manchester United at Old Trafford. That's us out the cup. Bournemouth then get a point off us as we concede an own goal. We then host Liverpool, and they come out very fast. An excellent, well-worked, pinpoint passing goal sees them take a 1-goal lead. Mo Salah from the penalty spot, you know it's going in. That is a 2-goal lead. We do get one back though in the second half. A nice, well-worked short corner, but I don't know what Alisson is doing there. Wesley gets a header. It's going to be 2-1 Liverpool. After 11 games, we see ourselves sitting 11th with 14 points. Also, Nathan Lowe is having a top season for his game, 9 goals, but we do have a game against top of the league, Arsenal. More injury news as Otavio gets a injury out for 4 to 5 weeks. I swear I just signed injury-prone players. FA Cup draw, and we're heading to Holly Wales as we play Wrexham. We then get a little bit of a spanking as Arsenal give us a 4-2 defeat. Lloris finds himself linked with a move to Saudi Arabia. I ain't going to say no. We then head to Everton, and a very well-worked throw-in gets us moving the ball really well, finding Wesley in a little bit of space, gets a little bit lucky, but it's going to be a 1-0 victory. We then get the craziest result of the season so far, a 9-2 victory. After what happened in Manchester United last episode, I'm glad we give it someone back. We then pick up a 2-1 victory over Leicester. Yes, I did play Harry Winks just because it was against Leicester. Al Rahi come in for Josh Lawrence. They offer 8.75 million. I try to be a little bit cheeky and get a bit more off him. Unfortunately, it doesn't work, and they just pull out. United do knock us out of the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, and it's a 6-3 victory. That one hurt. An away game against Brighton doesn't really go in our favours as they move the ball around really well and Billy Gilmore just gliding past our player and a fantastic finish from him. Then a ball gets fallen loose down and it is going to be striked straight into the back of the net from Brighton to give them a 2-goal lead. And then in the second half, they secure the 3 points with a beautiful delivery and Matoma heads it in. We then get the most strangest result in this series so far, a 7-2 victory over Manchester United at home. Yeah, honestly. Me neither. With that result, we see ourselves 7th in the chance of European football. Leeds make the journey to the Bet365 and we hit them straight on the off as we get the ball all the way across and there is Wesley to get us a 1-goal lead. We do pick up the ball with Berger as he pushes it down yet again. Adson finds a good ball. Wesley is somehow Tezgal is onside. I don't know how, but it's 2-0. We then make it 3-0 as we move the ball around and Redondo gets us a goal, a lovely finish, and I'm not sure what Mesley is doing there. Leeds do fight back though, getting the ball all the way across. It's a lovely little run as Galdart rifles the ball in the back of the net. We then host Manchester City and we are going to take an early lead. Emery Tezgal with a great twist off his chest and then rifles the ball in. But you know Manchester City going to do Manchester City things as the ball comes over, finding a great ball from Erling Haaland and he's always going to score on that left. They do get a second goal as the ball gets whipped into the box, takes it down. It's a great touch and that is a beautiful finish. But we do get an equaliser late on into the second half. It's going to be a nice well-worked goal as we move it forward, finds a great ball to Wesley and picture that for the finish. How composed. 2-2. Nathan Lowe does win European Golden Boy, former winners such as Jude Bellingham in there. A great achievement for him. Al Rahid do come back in for Josh Lawrence and I kind of learn from my mistakes this time and I just accept the offer. We then lose to our arch nemesis at Norwich. I just can't beat him. 4-2. Al Arabi decide they are interested in Nathan Lowe. It's going to cost you a lot of money to get that man off my books. We then advance in the FA Cup by picking up a 3-0 victory against Wrexham. We then have the draw for the next round and it's going to be none other than Norwich. Aston Villa make the short journey to our place as we are going to take the lead early with a beautiful ball across and Wesley. If it's on Wesley's head, it's going in. We then double our tally by Anthony Gordon putting it into the back of the net from a free kick, showing why he's worth his money. And then a well-worked throw-in gets pulled into the box and it's going to be 3-0. Game, set, and match. We then host Brentford and Anthony Gordon yet again being in the middle of it. A great ball all the way across from side to side, finds a ball and Nathan Lowe 1-0. We then pick up the ball with Berger, working it down nicely. A good overlapping run, finds Brendan Williams into the box, hits it across and a deflection from Pinnock gives us a 2-goal lead. Brentford do try and get one back as they move the ball all the way across. Great ball through and then a Soler rifling at the top of the net. And then we push on yet again once more. Gordon tries to get the ball through, does really good to Vidigal who finds an on-running goal as Vidigal gives us a 3-1 victory. Redondo is showing some great improvements in the team. I have a quick look at him and I just nod and agree. Yeah, he's doing very well. Brentford then come in for Casteels and I try and get 10 million for him. He's a 33-year-old goalkeeper looking to explore his contract. I am definitely going to take that money off them. We then pick up a 4-0 victory away from home against Bournemouth, which then leaves the table looking like this, us sitting 6th in the league. We then knock Norwich out of the FA Cup with a 4-1 victory and we draw Chelsea away from home in the next round. Players moaning again because our goalkeeper situation with Casteel's gone, so I just go out and bring Dean Henderson in for 6.25 million. Can be a backup, can play first team as well. I'm happy with that. We then get a great result of a 1-1. If it wasn't for Bernardo Silva, it could have been 3 points. More injuries for us as Brendan Williams sees himself out for the rest of the season with a fractured lower leg. Them injuries adding up didn't help for us as we take a 1-0 loss against Newcastle. Chelsea do go to the Bet365 and it takes it to the second half to break the deadlock. A lovely ball in and an easy header from Jackson to give him a 1-goal lead. Taking a bit of play from our bookie with a short corner. Jackson just takes it all the way around our player, finds a pass into Conor Gallagher and he just rifles it in the top net. 2-0. And then they are going to get a third as they move this ball really well, finding a lot of space. Angelo gets a little bit lucky here, but the finish is phenomenal. 3-0 loss. We then have an entertaining game of a 4-4 against Leeds, and then Chelsea then knock us out of the FA Cup with a 2-0 victory. We host Brighton and they take an early lead with Gross getting a penalty. After our team talk though, we show a bit of grit and determination as Lowe brings the ball back, finds Leris who gets it all the way across. It's going to be a great touch and Anthony Gordon gets us a 1-1. That's not the end though as the ball gets played into the box. It's going to be picked up from our right back. I can't pronounce his name, you know I can't, but he puts a good whip in and there with Wesley for a 2-1 victory. We pick up another injury, losing Vidigal for 4 to 7 weeks with a twisted ankle. We then take a draw away from home against Leicester and Harry Winks on the score sheet yet again. But we bounce back with a 4-2 victory over Everton. Then our youth intake comes in and it's not looking very good. Don't think we're going to be signing any of these. We then drop points against Aston Villa as a 93rd minute Douglas Luiz penalty goes in. We then get a massive 3 points of the Battle of the Midlands against Wolves. That then leaves the league table looking like this after 32 games and we sit 8th. We've got some big games coming up as well against Liverpool and Arsenal, but there is a chance of us actually getting European football. Onto the Liverpool game, and they actually get a goal in the first half. Very, very nicely well worked. It's a great finish as well from Mo Salah. Tezgal's going to nick the ball as well to get us a 1-1. A nice cheeky little finish there. But unfortunately, Liverpool were a little bit too strong for us. As a misplaced pass to the back there is going to allow Luis Diaz to go all the way through and just strike him with his left foot. 2-1 Liverpool. We then host Arsenal at the Bet365, and it's going to be a late one for us as we clinch all 3 points. A beautifully well-worked goal, and our man back from injury, Mr. Vidigal, for a 1-0 victory. Down to the last 4 games of the season, and I think it's going to be us, West Ham and Tottenham all battling it out for that 7th place. We also do have to play West Ham and Tottenham in the final 4 games. We can only manage a 2-2 against Crystal Palace, a late penalty saving the day. We get a little bit lucky as Tottenham draw and West Ham lose to Newcastle. The next game week, we have the big one as we take on West Ham, with the league looking like this. Things don't start well for us as West Ham move down this left-hand side, and Lee Kang-in is going to get the ball into the box, and he just slots it away for a nice finish. We do bounce back though with a nice little ball movement. Adson gets it all the way across. It's going to be a lovely strike, and what a hit that is from Harry Winks. And then another throw in on the right hand side, moves the ball around. Berger this time slots it away with a cool finish, gives us a 2-1 victory. We have the league table looking a little bit like this. We are 4 points clear from West Ham. Tottenham do have a game in hand though, but it looks like we're going to lock in this 7th position. Spurs then play their game in hand, and it's a 0-0 with Aston Villa. That locks us in 3rd place by 3 points and pushes Aston Villa up to 5th. Second to last game of the season, we play Fulham away. Good news for us though, as Spurs play Liverpool, and also West Ham have to play Arsenal. They are both winnable games for the away teams. Our trip to Fulham goes off very nicely as a beautiful finish from Gordon there, as he just floats it over the goalkeeper Leno. Fulham do try and get a goal back here, working it down this left hand side. Good ball movement, finds an on-running player, and it just gets all the way through, and it's just an easy tap in really. 1-1, but we don't take that lightly as we push on, try and get in a second goal in the first half, as we get a bit lucky then as well. At least gets us a goal for a 2-1 victory. And then puts us 4 points clear away from West Ham, and that locks in that 7th place. So the game against Spurs is pretty much a dead game. Like I said, this was a dead game, but Spurs do beat us 3-2 as the last game of the season. That leaves the league table looking like this. Stoke's highest ever finish in a Premier League season. We will take that. It's not quite European football, but I don't mind. Can we show some love to Wesley as well, finishing 2nd as the top goal scorer with a 2 to 3 month injury. Mad respect. We actually find out that we get Europa League football. Funnily enough, Aston Villa managed to win the Europa League, beating Real Betis 5-0 in the final, which opened up a slot for us to get Europa League football. So Stoke City have Europa League football for the first time since 2012. The board then opened their checkbook and give us 60 million in the transfer budget and also 1.3 million in the wages. And that is going to be the end of episode 3. Season 4 right now, and the board have given us 60 million to spend in Europe without finishing the Premiership last year. We do have a chance of winning a trophy this year. Can we do it on the first attempt? Find out by watching to the end to see if we get it. We then spend all our transfer budget on 5 players. First up is going to be Renier. We bring him in on a free from Real Madrid. We're going to convert him into a inverted winger on that left-hand side. He's going to be phenomenal for us. Great pickup for free. We then pick up another free, which is going to be a backup left-back, which is going to be Dennis Kirkin, a phenomenal player that we get on a free. We then actually splash the cash, 39 million on a new centre-off, Alexander Hammer Christian. I hope I said that right. I probably haven't. But the fact that this man has got Hammer in his name, I love that as a centre-half. We then also pick up another free, and that is going to be a backup winger for us. Diego Valois is going to be there for us. Hopefully he can rotate when we have European and Premier League teams. And then our last signing is going to be Samu Amorindion from Atletico Madrid. A fantastic young striker that's coming up. We're going to put him in the rotation as well. 13.75 million. Our outs are just going to be Ben Pearson and Nikola Jocic. They both go out on loan. We have a great pre-season, getting all wins, but I'm not going to lie, there's not really anyone that frightening in there. I then make a second tactic ready for when we play the big boys like the top 6 or away from home in European football, just a little bit more defensive and more structured to try and stop them 9 goals that we concede to Manchester United. But we jump into the first game of the season against Brentford, and it's going to be a great ball from Gordon, and there's Renier heading it in on his debut. And Gordon's going to do the exact same, run down that right-hand side, finds a great ball through, and there is Samu getting a goal on his debut as well. We then push down the right-hand side. It's a great ball in, and it's got to find a well open Gordon there, and guess what? Gordon's going to get his goal. Well deserved. He absolutely smashed it. 2 assists and a goal, 3-0 victory. Wesley then picks up an injury for 4 weeks. Not ideal for us. We then pick up a 3-0 victory away from home. Nathan Lowe, Renier and Ottavio all getting on the score sheet for us. We then pick up another big win away from home against Leeds. 3 of our new signings all getting on the score sheet as well. We managed to keep this winning streak alive as we push and get a goal, and Tobido is going to put it in the back of his own net. A 1-0 victory. We're about to play Liverpool away from home, so you know it's going to be the new tactic. Let's see how it does just before we head into European football. It looks a lot healthier. Only a 2-1 loss. Redondo again on the score sheet, but I'll take that compared to the 5 and 6 that we normally concede. Our unreal form continues as we pick up a 1-0 win over Crystal Palace. That leaves the Premier League looking like this. We are actually top of the Premier League, the first time in Stoke City's history. We then play our first ever game in European football since 2012. This is what we were aiming for. This is what we want. And we play against Utrecht away from home. And we start with all guns blazing as Wesley gets us a goal. We then double our tally as well as we move the ball around really well. Look at that open space as Gordon's going to push down this left-hand side. Going to find the ball all the way across. And there is Samu getting us a goal to double our tally. We just pile the pressure on even more. You can tell the excitement from the team and the players just to be back in European football where we want to be and where we deserve to be with the season that we have had, and we make it 3-0. And then we're just going to add even more to the tally as we're going to get a 4th goal. Samu finding a ball, drilled it low. It gives us a 4-0 victory. Our next game in the Europa League is a 1-1 with Stuttgart away from home. We then pick up another fantastic win against Sheffield United in the Premier League. We have started the season very, very well, but there's been no real test in there apart from Newcastle. Big moves for Redondo as he picks up Player of the Month for September. We then play Arsenal at our place, and Saka scores a wonderful penalty there, sending the keeper the wrong way. We then get the ball with Gordon down the right-hand side, who finds Samu making a fantastic run, who rifles it across the box, and there is our striker back from injury, Wesley 2-1. Corner's going to get whipped in, and we play a little bit of head tennis here as the ball goes all the way across, and there is Ben Wilmot to head it in for a 2-1 lead. Arsenal try to get a little bit panicky pushing it out, but it's going to be intercepted there. The ball gets played down. Berger does pick it up, and that is a fantastic slot, which we are used to now after these seasons. And then Arsenal are going to try and come back. It's a little bit late on the stage. It's 96 minutes. It's a very well-worked goal, but it's only going to be a 3-2, and that's 3 points to Stoke. We then draw 1-1 with Notts Forest. Not too happy with that one, but the worst result is against Chelsea, a 5-3 victory, and I don't think this new tactic is working against the big boys. Back into European action, and we play Braga at home, and Anthony Gordon's going to find a ball through to Samu, and he just puts it in as a 1-goal lead. Can we just say the link up between Samu and Gordon is absolutely phenomenal, and their connection is class. Putting Gordon as that right winger has been absolutely instrumental in his career now, and he's banging goals in just like that and getting assists. He's been phenomenal, and just like this, he gets the ball down here, runs through, puts it in a little bit of threat, gets a little bit unlucky with the finish, but he is going to find the back of the net for a 3-0 victory. We then host Manchester City, and we have to question what Redondo's clearance was there as it goes all the way through, and it's just an easy goal from Kravitz-Scheller. 1-0 victory. Some great news for us that Samu is settling in so well and also improving his game. Just look at his attributes right now. We then get a 3-1 victory away from home. Wesley and Samu both getting on the score sheets. That still keeps us top of the league, but as you can see, everyone else do have games in hand on us. We then have a battle in Turkey, but we come out victorious 4-0. I love to see that Samu, Tezgel and Wesley, the rotation of this side just coming in together. We're going to play Liverpool at home. We're going to try this formation yet again to see how it goes on. Liverpool are going to get the upper hand as they play the ball around really well in our penalty spot, and it's going to be Fabian that gets the goal, and it's going to end 1-0, unfortunately. We then have one for the neutrals as we pick up a 3-3. Unfortunately, Alex Scott gets a last-minute equaliser. We then get another 3-3, this time in Europe, and Almira are going to get a 99th minute equaliser to get the shared points. We then travel to Spurs, and it's going to be Anthony Gordon to put the pressure on, take it away, and fire us 1-0 up. Spurs are going to push, though, and try and get a goal, and you see something a little bit special here from Richarlison, telling people why he should be the next R9. But we are going to fight for it as well in 87th minute. It's about time we get a bit of a late goal surge come through as Williams hits the ball low and hard and and gets us a 2-1 victory. Next up is going to be Everton at home, and a little bit of a missed touch there allows us to break in. Renier whips the ball in, and Samu is there. The two new boys linking up for a 1-goal lead. We then get a corner. Renier is a bit injured. I'm a little bit scared about that, but that's a great header, knocking it down for a 2-0 lead. But Everton are going to push back and try and get a goal. Is a little run down the left-hand side. No one's there to touch him. Push it in, and it's just rifled in. Thiago Almada. Everton are rock bottom, and if they go down, I am very interested in Thiago Almada. We then beat Athens 2-1 in Europe. Another fantastic result away from home with a 3-1 victory over Aston Villa. Samu yet again gain on the score sheet for us. We then take the full 6 points off Norwich with a 3-0 victory at home. We then pick up our first defeat in December, and that is against West Ham. Muric picks up an injury 3 to 6 weeks, but luckily Dean Henderson can fit into that number 1 spot. We pick up a 4-1 victory in the Midlands clash. That's one hell of a December, and hopefully we can finish off with a win against Man United. So Manchester United didn't take that lightly, and they absolutely spanked us 5-1. That's how easy they made it. We are slowly slipping down the table, but we do remain in the top 4. We then play Chelsea, and Sterling's going to run down this wing, cuts in to Conor Gallagher, he rifles it in, and I swear I saw that goal last season. This is not a replay as Sterling runs down the right-hand side. He's going to find a pass into Conor Gallagher yet again, who bursts through into a bit of space and somehow scores. Unbelievable goal. And then Mudryk is going to pick up this ball on the left-hand side. He does a wonderful run, and there's a little cut inside and opens his body up, puts it in, and gives him a 3-goal lead. The Chelsea game did end 3-2 though. Here was the big scare of the season, as Anthony Gordon is wanted by Real Madrid, but I know I can get a lot more than him, and that 74 million release clause is what I want. He then jumps in the office saying, why didn't I accept it? I tell him I want 74 million, and we're all happy friends, and we move on with the season. I don't know if the players are unsettled or something with Real Madrid coming in, but we do pick up a 2-2 against Fulham. But then we bounce back with a win over Sheffield United with Samu getting a brace. We then play the replay of an FA Cup third round against Fulham and get a 2-1 victory away from home. The January transfer window is hotting up as Ottavio is wanted by Sporting, but they can't offer us enough price. We reject it. We then travel to the Etihad, but it's going to be a defeat for us. Haaland getting a good goal there. It's going to be 3-2 to Man City. You can tell the boys are absolutely loving European football as a 3-2 victory over Lazio. Another draw in the FA Cup, and it's going to be against Ipswich as we need a replay. The 0-0 curse carries on as we draw with Lugaretz in Europe. You can always rely on a game against Luton to restore the goal scorers. It is a 3-1 victory. We then win our replay by 3-2. A late Emery Tezgao goal gets us a 2-2 with Brentford away. Locking in Muric on a 3-year deal so they can't go anywhere. We'll take that. Man United come to our place and we actually give them a good game. And Wesley's going to get a goal for us there to give us a 1-goal lead. A throw-in is going to be played in on the right-hand side and we move this ball around. Redondo going to get it played through to Berger. Lovely well played, and Wesley gets a brace to give us a 2-goal lead. And then Sessegnon takes a quick throw-in, plays it down, a lovely whip in, and a boom, a great header from Anthony Gordon to give us a 3-goal lead. And then Bruno Fernandes knocks a penalty in. We then host Wolves in the Midlands, little derby that we have here, and Gordon's going to pick up that ball on the right-hand side, plays it in, and that's a great header from Renier, giving us a 1-goal lead. Samu plays the ball to Wesley. Good 1-2 football with the two strikers, and Samu just puts it away, slots it away for a 2-0 lead. We're going to find the ball down at this left-hand side. A great whip in there, and another towering header from Lowe to give us a 3-0 victory. We still sit in the top 4, only 3 points away from Liverpool at the top of the table, but they do have a game in hand. We also finished in the top 8 of the Europa League, so you know what that means? We're already through to the round of 16. And our European campaign carries on with a trip to Scotland with Celtic. We then suffer a defeat away from home against West Ham, and West Ham seem to be our bogey team at the minute. One of the greatest games in the FA Cup you will ever see is a 6-4. The neutrals would have loved this one. Taking it to extra time, Chelsea get the win. We then travel to Scotland and we put 6 past Celtic, but they do put 3 passes, so 1 foot in the next round, I'd say. An away game against Everton starts very well. Wesley with a wonderful touch, and he just whips that ball in to Samu, gives us a 1-goal lead. We then double the tally in the second half as we move it down this right-hand side. A lovely ball in, pass straight across, and there is a goal for Redondo, getting us a 2-goal lead. But Everton do answer back with a ball over the top. A great little touchdown, and it's going to be an easy one. We go to Celtic away, and we get a goal in the early stages. Nicely done from Berger there to give us a 7-3 aggregate, but it's going to be none other than Haksanovic, our former player in the Championship and the Premiership, who gets a goal against us. It is 1-1, but we win 7-4 in aggregate. We then play Liverpool yet again, and they are going to push it through, finding Mo Salah with a great ball to McAllister, and it's another 1-0 loss to him. The league table looks like this. We are currently in 6th, 30 games being played, but we are only 7 points away from top. Not thinking about that, but Europe in the top 4 spots is doable. We then pick up a huge result against Aston Villa, winning 5-3. We get the draw for the quarterfinals of the Europa League, and for some reason the game won't let us draw, so you're gonna have to skip this one. We do get picked up against Rennie's tablet, so that's going to be a tough one. We get our youth intake, and Christian O'Hara actually looks like a decent striker that could develop. One to look forward to. We share points with Spurs with a 1-1. First quarter-final leg against Rennes, and this is going to be a tough one away in France. And Rennes actually start off really well, putting the ball in the back of the net to give them an early 1-goal lead. We do answer straight back though. Luckily, it's from a set piece as we move this ball around from it. It's going to come in, a nice little ball from Kirky there, floats all the way through, and has a cheeky one from Lowe. But things aren't going to end our way as Rennes do push on and try and get a winner in the second half late on, and it's a ball all the way across, and there's Goiri to give him a 2-1 victory. We bounce back with a 2-1 victory away from home against Nottingham Forest. We then get this page that I didn't think I would ever see, not this early as well. The title race builds up, and you can see that we are in a chance of winning the title, but I think it's a little bit too ask. As you can see there, Liverpool and also Manchester City are in the good ones to win it, but it's just the thought that counts, like Christmas. Second leg of the Europa League, and we get an early lead. A beautiful goal of Samu's going to give us a 1-goal lead there. We also then intercept the ball in the play, build it up really nicely, go all the way through, and that is going to be a fantastic goal to give us a 2-goal lead. We do pick up the ball in the centre yet again, a lovely interception there, and Lowe's going to play it, takes a bit of a deflection, and gives us a 3-1 lead. We then move the ball down the left-hand side. It's a beautiful ball whipped in, and Lowe is going to get a brace, get us 4 goals, and give us a 5-2 lead on aggregate. But it's not over yet as Rennes do try and push back to get a goal. They certainly get one as well. A lovely, well-worked finish there, but it's not enough. 5-3 on it, we go through to the semi-finals. A massive win against Bournemouth as we take a 4-goal victory. League title, gain even tighter as we go 6 points off Liverpool, all to play for. We then pick up another awesome result with a 3-1 victory over Newcastle. You didn't see the draw, but we get Lazio in the semi-finals. I think this is a great win. If we can win Lazio, I'm sure we can beat Marseille or Fenerbahce, who go into the final. A little bit of a shock, have we got so many injuries and suspensions to our main side. We actually get a 0-0, which is kind of a good result. I'm just a little bit worried that was our home leg. Charlie O'Hara picks up under 21 Player of the Month award. He's only 15. I told you it was something special. We have a bit of a bad result against Leeds at home, and it is luckily Samu gets a 98th minute equaliser to share the points. Second leg at Europa, and it is going to be Lazio to start this one off quite quickly as well. Zakaragi gets a goal. A little bit of a miscommunication there, but he just goes in the back of the net. 1-0. We do fight back though after half time. A bit of a stern team talk, and Rennie is going to get the ball, and what a finish that is from him. 1-1. But Lazio then push down the other end, and they do get a goal back. Philippe Anderson with a great ball finding Gravalla, and he just rifles it past Henderson. 2-1. A free kick's going to get pumped in. Nathan Lowe is going to pick that ball up, plays it across, and that is our main man Samu getting as a goal. 2-2. A short goal kick goes absolutely horribly wrong for Lazio, and Nathan Lowe gives us a 3-2 lead. And then a big tackle in the centre is going to find Sessi to Rendon, plays it over to Renier, who's going to cut it back, and there is Samu to give us a 4-2 lead. They tried to get a consolation goal at the end. It's the 90th minute, but I think it's going to be a little bit too late as Tati does put it away. A lovely finish, but it's not enough. 4-3. We're into the final Europa League. A big loss for us against Arsenal is going to put dents into our title hopes and Champions League hopes. The table looks like this. We are currently sat in 4th. We're all on 71 points. Man City, Aston Villa and us. Just one win against Crystal Palace can elevate us up to 3rd or maybe stay in. That's 4th place for Champions League. As we host Crystal Palace needing a win to go through, Redondo hits an absolute rip snorter to give us a 1-goal lead. But it all comes down to this. Crystal Palace whip the ball into the box. It's going to come through. Kind of a replica of what we did, and that is not good, and it ends 1-1. We did get this goal right at the end in the 91st minute, but the referee decides that is offside, and I actually got up and fist pumped and everything. I thought we got Champions League, but it wasn't meant to be. We absolutely slipped down the league table and finished 6th. I am gutted. There was no time to dwell because we had a Europa League final against Marseille, and this is a team that we're going to rock Henderson plays because he's played every single game for us in the Europa League, so we had to give him a game. Can we get a win? Can we win European glory? The teams are out, and just look at that. I'm not nervous. You are. This could be the big one. We've had disappointments in the Premiership. Please don't let there be disappointments at Europe as well. A final on our first attempts. Come on. Our first big break is going to be down this right-hand side as Brendan Williams pushes down, getting two-manned, gets the ball in, keepers in no man's land, and Renier gives us a one-goal lead in the final. Come on. Second half of Marseille come out the blocks flying with a wonderful run into the box and a powering strike puts them back to 1-1. We get a little bit of glimmer of hope as a very bad challenge there on an already yellow card. Lottie is going to see him get a second, and that is him sent off. But the red card did not go in our favour as a well-worked throw-in gets rifled through to give him a 2-1 lead in the 84th minute. We do get a corner in the 96th minute with 6 minutes added on to try and get something as we whip the ball in. It's going to be a header cleared away. We try and pick this up with Tezgel, try and put it back in, but he does go backwards a little bit too much as we try and float one in there. It just gets cleared away, and unfortunately for us, that is the final whistle, and it sees Marseille beating us in the Europa League final. And the truth behind this story is, guys, that not every story has a happy ending. And every story has a next chapter. So all we can do is say congratulations to Marseille, and we'll be back in the next episode to fight stronger for it. With the 94 million that the board handed to us, we managed to bring in a few players. First off being Miguel Gutierrez, a new left wing back from Girona. We spent 33 million on him. He looks phenomenal. We then pick up Ruben Loftus-Cheek on a free. We'll take that. He's going to go perfectly for the registration of Into Europe. We also pick up Ben Doak as well from Liverpool, a lone player. He's very fast. We're going to use him, utilise him in them ways. And also, we then spend the big money. 70 million. Junior Krupi we get from Lorient. This guy is absolutely phenomenal. 21 years old, and he is the key to our success. With that, we do offload two players. Ottavir and Valois both go for a combined price of 30 million. So, let me know, were these good signings, or would you have spent the cash a little bit more divided? We're sticking with the exact same formation we have gone through the whole of this series, and we are going to put the new striker and the new left back into there. Gutierrez Krupi straight in as we host Aston Villa for the first game of the season, and it's going to be a nice early one for us as we whip the ball in. Not sure what the goalkeeper's doing, but Brendan Williams is there to slot it away for a one-goal lead. Unfortunately, Aston Villa are going to answer back, though, with a header from themselves from a corner. It ends 1-1. We have a quick look at the stats, and it shows that we absolutely dominated, which is a positive sign for the first game of the season. Things to come. We get a cheeky little scare with Gutierrez getting an injury, but luckily it's only for 2 weeks. We then reject Wolves' bid for Dean Henderson. 3 points at the King Power Stadium, and Krupi gets us 2 goals. We love to see it until he gets injured for 4 weeks. We cannot dwell on it though as we play Manchester City, the real test at the Etihad, and they get off really quickly with the ball all the way through and a great finish, giving them a 1-goal lead. And within just seconds, they doubled their tally to a 2-goal lead. Lovely little play from it, and Rodrigo with an absolute lovely strike, drilled low, doubles the tally. And then they finish the game off yet again, working down this left-hand side. Good ball movement all the way through, finding Rodrigo, and Rodrigo with 2 wonderful finishes, giving them a 3-0 lead. Suddenly forget about the Manchester City result as we draw Port Vale in the Carabao Cup. First time since the 2002, and also the Europa League draw gets drawn out, and I am quite confident with all them teams we're going to go through. Back to Premier League action, and it's going to be a 1-0 loss to Chelsea, but as you can see there, we are 19th when it comes to the amount of wages being spent. It just shows what task we've got in hand on ourselves. This one felt a little bit nice as we advance through in the Carabao Cup, picking up a 6-0 victory over Port Vale. It definitely gives the players a boost as they pick up a 3-1 victory against Bournemouth. We make an absolute statement in Europe, showing that we are not taking this one lightly after the defeat last year. A 5-0 victory as we travel to Hungary, a pure domination. As the saying goes, all good things must come at a cost, and absolutely does. Redondo gets a 3 to 4 week injury with a sprained ankle ligament. That didn't stop us dominating Europe as we take a 3-1 victory over Getafe. And the great form carries on as we get a 1-0 victory over Brentford from Ben Doak. That win actually comes at a cost, so as our new signing Miguel Gutierrez picks up an injury for 4 weeks to 2 months. Not what we want to see. We're not going to let that injury stop us as we host Liverpool, and it's a great finish from Luis Diaz there. But the boys are going to battle on and do what they do best, and that is get a result from this as a ball over the top finds an on-running Renier who's going to try and whip that ball in, and then it's an easy tap in because I have no idea what Alisson is doing. 1-1. Unfortunately, good form can't carry on running as we pick up a 6-4 loss against Arsenal. Good for the neutrals though. We didn't take that defeat to Arsenal nicely as we go and smash Karabakh 4-0 in Europe, but another injury comes into play. That doesn't stop us though as we pick up a 2-1 victory over Manchester United at home. Dean Henderson playing in goals against his former club is always a good sign. The goals keep on flowing as we pick up a 4-1 victory against Middlesbrough in the Carabao Cup. We then draw Aston Villa in the quarter-finals. I'll take that. Look at them teams. It's doable, this is. Also, another injury. This one is a big one, 3 to 7 weeks, but he is our left-back and backup left-back. That's really tough. The show must go on, and it certainly does that as we pick up a 2-1 victory away from home against Brighton. We pick up an early goal in Europe with a great header from Samu. We're going to be playing Rennes, a former team we played in the knockout stages, our road to the final last year. Is this going the same way that it did last year, as we are actually doing really well in Europe, and I feel very confident, and there is a trophy to be won this season. But Rennes do get a goal back then. It's a very well taken goal, and that makes it 2-1. We then get a corner, we whip the ball in. It's going to be a brilliant edit, and that is how you do it. A great goal, making it 3-1. And then we're just going to put the final goal to bed here and get a 4-1 victory. Lovely, well-worked goal, finding loads of space, and that is a great finish for Floris, and that is 4-1 victory. Junior Krupi saves us from our European hangover with a 3-3 against Notts Forest. After them games, we see ourselves sitting 9th in the league on 18 points. Not too bad, as you can see there. Manchester United, Bournemouth are all on 20 and 22 points, so it's still touchable, but Newcastle smashing it at the top on 28 points. Also, speaking of Newcastle, we actually play them next, and they get an early goal with Ramos getting a 1-goal lead. We do manage to pull one back down. It's going to be a nice, well-worked ball down at the left-hand side, and luckily for us, it's going to come all the way across, and that is going to be classed as an own goal. But Newcastle were just a little bit too strong as they moved the ball around really well. A great run from Ramos yet again, slots it away, gives them a 2-1 victory. Keeps them top of the table. Bounce back straight away from that Newcastle game as we pick up a 3-1 win in Europe against Lech Poznan. And with that win, you see us sitting top of the group in Europe. The goals kept on piling in as we take a 7-2 victory away from home to Crystal Palace. And then straight away, a 6-3 victory over Norwich at home. Gordon Redondo and Krupi all getting on the score sheet for a 3-0 victory over Burnley. From them huge results we have just had, we see ourselves manage to get up to 3rd in the Premier League. And Junior Krupi is actually top goal scorer so far. No time to think about the Premiership as we have got to secure our dominance in Europe with a 3-1 victory away from home. Back to Premier League action, and we've placed Wolves, and they actually get a goal in the first half, which puts them 1-0 up. We do come back out the second half, fighting strong early on as we move this ball down at the right-hand side. It's a beautiful whip in, and it's going to be a nice volley in the back of the net for Riena. But Wolves do push on, push into our penalty spot, get a ball all the way across, which is nicely done from Neto, and that's a great finish to give him a 2-1 victory. Great bouncing back with a 4-1 victory over Aston Villa in the Carabao Cup quarter-finals, and that sees us into the semis, and we get Manchester City. Not ideal. 4 wins in the Premier League as we pick up a 3-0 victory against Sheffield United. A tough game against Spurs at the Bet365, and they're going to take an early lead. A lovely little cut across the goalkeeper, and it's a tap-in for a 1-goal lead. But we do get a corner, and it's going to be a front post header flicked in there, and a big header to give us a 1-1. And in the dying seconds of the game, the 93rd minute, Ruben Loftus-Cheek does get that ball on the left-hand side, pushes through, a great ball all the way across, and there is our man Samu getting us a 2-1 victory. We can win against the London teams, but we can't win in London as West Ham pick up a 2-0 victory against us. Our scouts send us that Wahi is actually available on free, so we're going to try and snap him up. We have a return game against Spurs, and yes, it is in London, so we lose 3-2. A couple of defeats in London sees us drop down to 6th, but we are still in contention of that Champions League spot. Even though we've been on the bad runs, Krupi gets Young Player of the Month, and he dedicates it to me. What a hero. We pick up a 2-2 against Arsenal, and thank you, Samu, for scoring in the 91st minute to rescue us a point. Inter Milan coming for a deal worth 66 million for Samu, but I do reject it because I want a little bit more for him. He's too good. Back to winning ways for us as we pick up a 4-1 victory over Luton. That win against Luton boosted us up to get a 3-1 victory against Brentford. Alweda come in for Nathan Lowe for 15 million. It's going to be a decline for me. This man is worth way much more than that. And the very next day, Wahi signs for us on a free. We game at the end of the season, but that's a huge signing. Straight into Carabao Cup at semi-final, though, it's going to be Manchester City running down the wing, heading the ball down, and rifled in by Rafinha to give him a 1-goal lead. And things are not looking good as Manchester City in the second half continue their attacks, push through and get a goal somehow by miscommunication of the defenders. It's a 2-0 victory. There ain't no rest though as we head into a game against Manchester United away from home, and things are not going to start too well. Another cross coming in that we just don't deal with, and there is Fernandes to rifle it in for a a 1-0 lead. And they soon double the tally as they push down this left-hand side. Another cross in, somehow comes off the post, and I have no idea what that clearance was. 2-0. They just add to the pressure as the first half is about to end, and it's just going to be a nice, well-worked goal, this one. I can't fault that one. Great stuff, 3-0. And then Man United just put the nail in the coffin as a ball all the way across is going to find the net by our own player. It's a 4-1 victory. The bad run unfortunately continues with a 3-0 loss against Sturmgrass. After that defeat, we field a strong team and we actually get a win against Braga 4-1, and that puts us right at the top of the group for Europe and sees us through to the last 16. We then go back to banging in goals as we pick up a 4-2 win against Leicester and a 6-1 win, crazily enough, against Aston Villa. Manchester City in the second leg of our Carabao Cup semi-final, and we're going to hit the ground running here with a fantastic ball and Renier slotting it away for a 2-1 aggregate. We then move the ball around really well. Redondo's going to find an absolute fantastic ball all the way across to Wilmot, puts it across, and Samu gives us a 2-2. Manchester City do misplace their pass, and we're going to take full advantage of it. Works it well, and Junior Krupi is going to fire us into the final of the Carabao Cup. Momentum of getting into a final pumps us through as we beat Wolves 4-1. We sit 6th in the Premier League, only 4 points off the Champions League spots. It's still doable, and I think we can. We lock in Redondo on a 4-year deal, and then we head into our European draw, and it's going to be none other than Juventus. That's a tough one. Here it is, our final, our first trophy potential. Let's get in there and see if we can beat Leeds. It takes to the second half for some action to kick in, but it is going to be to Leeds as they put the ball all the way across, somehow falls the way through, and that's a great finish from Ernest. But they do get a last-minute double tally as well. It's a great finish from him, and that, unfortunately, is going to see Leeds win the Carabao Cup and us actually fail. We didn't win the trophy. We thought this was going to be an easy one. Unfortunately for us, it doesn't go our way, and we are actually going to see Leeds lift the Carabao Cup trophy from the Championship. With the heartbreak of that cup final, we need to go on and try and win another cup, and that is the FA Cup, a 3-2 victory against Blackburn. We get the draw for the quarterfinals, the FA Cup. Vincent Kompany is going to be kind, and he gives us Leeds. You can't write it. Still looking confident though as we pick up a 3-1 win against West Ham. Another great victory away from home against Sheffield United as we pick up a 3-0 win. Our first matchup in Europe against Juventus in Turin gets an early goal in there. Nice little tap in to give us a 1-goal lead. Juventus then step up their game with a misplaced pass yet again for our centre-off. He's made too many mistakes, but it ends 1-1. No idea what we have done to annoy Leeds, but they win 2-1. We have one of the most crazy results I've ever seen in Football Manager. It's a 9-0 victory against Juventus. Yes, I have no idea how, but we take it. Morale fully boosted after that one as we pick up a 3-2 win over Brighton. We then pick up a 3-1 victory over Burnley, but unfortunately, leaders Newcastle smashes 4-1. That still keeps us 5th in the league, only 2 points away from the Champions League spots. With the draw breaking, we do pick up AZ Alkmaar in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. That game is going to start very fast though with an early 1-goal lead from Samu. We then double our tally by running all the way down Gutierrez, all the way across, and there is our man Samu yet again to double our tally. We then work the ball down this left-hand side, lovely working movement, and then is Redondo, after his 4-year deal, rewards us. We're then just going to add to this tally here with another goal down the right, lovely ball through, and there is Tezgal to give us a 4-goal lead. AZ do get one consolation goal though as we whip it down this right-hand side, ball comes into the box, we don't deal with it, it's an easy goal there, ends 4-1. Another monster result as we pick up a 6-2 against Forest. We get this email again, but I don't think it's going to mean anything because we're too far away for the Premiership. Heading out to the Netherlands, we pick up a 4-0 win away from home, seeing us through to the semi-finals. That means a trip to Italy in the semi-finals against Fiorentina. Love this email as we told we are making a profit in this year's, which is absolutely fantastic considering we're in a semi-final and we're still pushing for Champions League. More focus on Europe, I think, as we slip up with a 1-1 against Norwich. The Eagles travel down to the Bet365 arena, and it's not going to be a good start for them as we rifle the ball through. Krupi gained a great goal. But Palace are going to answer back there with a great ball into the box, and that is just volleyed down into the ground. Keeper's done nothing, 1-1. Straight out the blocks from half-time, though. Ball's going to get whipped in. We are going to pick the ball up. Nice little run down this left-hand side. It's going to put it all the way across, and there's our man Nathan Lowe to give us a 2-1 lead. Then in the dying seconds of the game, the 93rd minute, we just see this off and finish it. Lovely ball movements from the team as we get the ball through, and there is Junior Krupi yet again for a 3-1 victory. A defeat to Chelsea's not Andy, 3-2. 3 games left remaining this season, and we are 2 points off the top 4 places place. Can we do it? Traveling to Italy for our European semi-final, and it's not going to start very well as Fiorentina get a 1-goal lead. We do fight back though because Fiorentina did have a red card, so they go down to 10 men, makes it a little bit easier, and Junior Krupi gets us a goal for 1-1. And we're going to end with a bang with a free kick, ball all the way across, and it's a great header from Wilmot, 2-1. The lads are enjoying football at the minute as we pick up a 5-2 against Bournemouth. The biggest game of our season and career, I would say, and it's going to start exactly the same way as it did in Italy, a 1-goal lead for Fiorentina. They do get the ball, and it's a little bit of a missed touch there, and it's going to be our man Nathan Lowe pushing on. Look at that for a bit of clutch and composure. 1-1. And in the second half, it's another bad pass, and the press from us has been fantastic as Anthony Gordon gets the ball down, whips it in, and it's going to go all the way through to Nathan Lowe. 2-1, 4-2 aggregate. We're in the final against Manchester United. Come on! Last 2 games of the Premier League, and the boys are cooking as we get a 2-1 victory over Liverpool, and somehow managed to pick up a 3-3 against Manchester City. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to break the top 4, but we do get Europa League yet again next year, but we have that magical final where we could win a trophy and get Champions League. Only one way to find out. What a signing this young lad has been as well. Krupi claims Footballer Player of the Year for the Premiership. Unreal. He then goes on and picks up the Player of the Year as well, which is absolutely phenomenal. He comes second in the top goal scorers of the league, and he also picks up the Young Player of the Year. What a signing. Yes, he costs us 70-odd million, but he's just so good. But everything comes down to this game, the Europa League final. We've got a few tied players in there, but they are going to be strong enough because the momentum is going to force them through to this game. The first real bit of action comes down through at the end of the first half. It's going to be Anthony Gordon turning into prime Ronaldinho, but I have no idea how this ball doesn't get in, and Manchester United get away with it, and that is going to be 0-0 at half time. The first goal is going to come from Anthony Gordon in the 51st minute. An unbelievable free kick. Onana gives us a 1-goal lead. I then knew something very dodgy was potentially going to happen here. Just look at the Man United striker around my goalkeeper. I thought, what the hell is going on there? But it is going to be a misplaced pass. Man United pick it up. They do a little bit of ball work movement around here, just passing it through. Finds Rashford on running down this left-hand side. He manages to whip the ball in all the way across, and there it is. Bruno Fernandes giving him a 1-1. And then the unthinkable happens. Anthony Gordon plays the ball through. Loftus-Cheek finds Nathan Lowe, who is onside in the 80th minute, has got to smash the goal and give us a 2-1 lead. We then change a few things, and there's the full-time whistle to give us a victory. We have done it. We have finally won the Europa League. What we set out on this journey from the start is to get into European football. Never mind that. We have smashed it, and we have actually won the Europa League, and it feels absolutely fantastic that we have done it. Last season, we became Europa League winners. I was going to call it a day until the comments wanted a little bit more. So let's buckle down, get on that horse, and try and win the Premier League or the Champions League. For this, the board are going to give us £68 million in the transfer window. We also have a Super Cup to play against PSG. I forgot about that one. And we also play in the European South American Club Cup Challenge. No idea what that is, but we play Santos. But let's get into the transfers as what we're going to spend with that £68 million. And it's going to be a new centre midfielder. It is going to be none other than Manu Kone. We brought him from Mönchengladbach, a phenomenal signing for 50 million, and he's going to slot straight into this team. We also pick up Wahi on a free. We signed him in the last episode. He's a freebie. He's going to be a rotation for our strikers, help out to mix it in match when we have the European games and the Premier League games. So it's going to be 2 games a week, every single week, and that is where he's going to come in crucial for us. The team's going to look like this. Kone slot straight in there, going to be our Volante for us. Wahi's going to be on the bench. We're going to work him in a little bit slower, and we head into our European and South American Club Cup competition. And by the chance I've said that name, Manu Kone has got injured for us. Don't do this again for me, game. Not another season of injuries, please. We don't let that bother us, though, as we get a corner whipped into the box. It's kind of a loose ball that gets picked up, finds Renier there, and he slots it away for a 1-goal lead. On the stroke of half time, they do push, and Santos gets a goal there from Sandri. A lovely finish, low and hard, gets past the goalkeeper for 1-1. We battle on, though, and Redondo does what he does best with another beautiful finish, a bit like Sandri's, but a well-worked goal, but unfortunately for us, Santos do get a goal back. It's going to be a penalty. I don't know what just happened. Someone pushed someone in the box, but it's a penalty. And it's just slotted away very comfortably, and that is going to be 2-2, and it leads to a penalty shootout. Can we just throw some love down for Muric with this unbelievable save? And he actually catches it as well. It's unbelievable. That makes Santos miss their third penalty, and we just go on and just finish it off, scoring all 5 with Berger slotted away, and we take home a victory of the European South American Challenge Cup. It's a trophy. We take trophies, right? Come on, it's one in the bag. Let's go. Brilliant result for us, and we move. Unfortunately, with that, we lose Kone for 4 to 6 weeks. We look to bring in someone else, someone like Olis for 50 million. We do get the bid accepted, but the 200k that he asks just means, see you later, pal, not for me. We then change the tactic as well. We go a little bit attacking by introducing the right winger a bit further up, and then we drop another player down into a double DM role. We're going to take this into the Bournemouth game when we start really well with Samu just smashing through all the players and getting us a goal, but it's not enough as Bournemouth do equalise straight away from across the box. Easy tap in, but this is what we do best. We move the ball around really well, put the ball into the box, and Samu is going to give us a 2-1 victory. And here we are, the big one, the Super Cup against PSG, and just have a cheeky look at them wonderful trophies that are on there. One of them are ours. Maybe that other one on the left-hand side could be ours with this year, only time will tell. And this is a good opportunity, but Samu wastes it by hitting the post, and it comes us to half time. We have a very good half there, just showing how good we've been against PSG. And in the 94th minute, yes, 94th minute, there is only one man and one man only to slot it away. Nathan Lowe, our youngster from the youth academy, gets us a 1-goal lead in the 94th minute. We switch to wasted time. We put on them set pieces, and guess what? We win the Super Cup. Yes, that is us lifting the Super Cup. Is this what's going to happen in the future? Are we going to go on and win the Champions League? There is only time to tell, and we have got a big chance at it as we celebrate 2 trophies back-to-backs, and that is glorious as we head into the Premier League season. Kone and Wahi finally starting together in the Premiership, and it's going to be a 3-1 victory against Luton. Wahi actually scoring for us as well. We then head over to Wolves and we get a 2-2 draw, not ideal. We go and play Sheffield United, gain a comfortable 3-1 victory, whilst also drawing Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, and we're going to smash them 3-1 as we advance further on. We get the Champions League draw, and you will see there the 2 Spanish giants in the mixture. We got Barcelona and Real Madrid. And then in the Carabao Cup, we get the not-so-glamorous Plymouth. Manchester City do put a massive stop on our release signing as they go in for him, and they're going to pick him up on the transfer deadline day, but we do focus our energy elsewhere and have a look at Harvey Elliott from Liverpool. £30 million, very versatile, and will also help for that European squad registry as he's going to fit in as English. That signing puts us on £2 million per week for the whole team, and overall in the Premiership that puts us 16th in the league, just a little bit shy of £6.5 million from Manchester City. Speaking of Manchester City, we do head to the Etihad and we pick up an early goal with Williams whipping the ball in and Renier getting the goal there. Manchester City do answer back in the second half with a corner. It's going to be floated in, and Rodrigo is going to get the goal to give them a 1-1 draw. That result puts us 3rd in the league, and we've been here before. We know what it feels like. We just hope we don't bottle it like the previous seasons. Now we make our history, and it's big history as Stoke play our first ever Champions League game. It's going to be none other than Roma, and we are playing away as well. So we head to Roma, we get a early goal from a very well-worked short corner, and Anthony Gordon's going to give us a 1-goal lead, but Roma do answer back, and it's a brilliant solo goal from Zaniolo to give us a 1-1 draw. Form in the Premiership carries on as we get a 2-1 victory over Everton. Koenig in on the score sheet for us, and we travel and get our first ever victory in the Champions League versus Club Brugge. A 4-0 victory. Currently playing the season without a loss and smashing it as well, but we do face Arsenal away from home, where they're going to slot the ball away in the net to give them a 1-goal lead, and we go on to miss a penalty to rescue a point shared out. That was 9 in the league before a loss as well, so we bounce back needed, and then what we do is we go and take a 1-0 lead against Newcastle as our baller Renier places the ball past the goalkeeper, and then we double it with a beautiful Van Persie-esque finish as we finish 2-0. 2-0. More wins in the Champions League over Shakhtar as we pick up a 3-1 victory and a 4-2 win over Brighton. Wahi gained a brace. This pushes us up to second, only 2 points off Arsenal, who are top of the league. A cup win against Plymouth rewards us with a tie against Manchester United, who are looking for revenge from last year. A Krupi hat-trick gets us 3 points against Southampton, and then we host the big one, Barcelona, the one that everyone's been dreaming about, and it doesn't start too well with a penalty slotted away nicely, and they double their tally with a little short corner. A cheeky deflection as well, but it gains 2-0 as we get a misplaced back pass, which gives us a little bit of hope at 2-1, but it's not going to be enough as a corner gets cleared away, finds Musiala open in loads of space, and he just slots it away for a 3-1. We luckily bounce back in the Premier League though with a 2-1 victory over Forest. Our worst Champions League match ever is a 3-0 loss against Atalanta, and we have 2 red cards as well. This is going to be very costly for us, but that leaves the table looking like this in the Champions League. 17th on 7 points. There's still a lot to play for, and I don't mind that. We do go into the Premier League game is where we shine the best with a 4-1 victory away from home to West Ham. Those games coming to cost as Anthony Gordon's out for 3 to 4 weeks, but it doesn't stop us as Chelsea head to the Bet365 arena now. Gordon replacement Harvey Elliott with a pinpoint ball finds Krupi for a 1-goal lead. A well-worked throw-in sees Krupi get a cheeky deflection off Wahi for a 2-0 victory. That puts us top of the table for the first time this season. A tough ask at Anfield, who are currently sitting second. Skip finds Akamark for a 1-goal lead. Skip then gets involved again, and somehow the ball just falls to Darwin Núñez as he slots it away for a 2-goal lead, and then Skip gets his well-deserved goal as he just runs straight through, and he's ran the show really to give him a 3-1 victory. A team that could use Skip here is Spurs as we beat him 5-2. Love to see why he's scoring as well. And Champions League time, and we take a look at all them red boxes there. Suspensions and injuries. Luckily, it's a 3-0 victory as the team wasn't that good. No disrespect. Players back though from the suspension in the Premier League, and they get a 4-1 victory against Brentford. But Manchester United do plays in the Cup, and they spank us 3-0 for a little bit of revenge. Krupi wants a new contract. He does deserve it, but I can't justify paying the 190k that he wants weekly. We host Manchester United in the league, and it's great to see Krupi and Wahi linking up, becoming the French connection, if you will. And then Gordon, back from injury, gets a crucial goal, making it 2-0, and that is a victory at home to Manchester United. Our ass man is killing our players as well with the training that he's doing, endurance before a match. This guy is crazy. But we do host Manchester City, and Haaland scores an early penalty to give them a 1-goal lead, but the world's worst goal kick gets taken, and our French connection links up yet again to draw 1-1. A cheeky 1-0 win away to Aston Villa as well puts us back on top of the table, which boosts the morale for a 3-1 victory over Norwich and another 3-1 victory over Luton. Fulham come in for Berger, but I have to reject it. It's just not good enough. Ford wanted to extend our contract. Good news all around, causes for good results as we get a 2-1 win over Bournemouth, but one off of the French connection gets injured, and Palace come in for low, but the offer once again is too low. We reject it. As we get 3 points from Wolves, the second half of the French connection gets injured, and as well as Gordon, Liverpool do draw with Manchester United, which gives us a 2-point lead at the top of the table. A 5-0 victory in the FA Cup sees Kone injured. With all these injuries though, we actually pick up a loss against Sheffield United 2-1, but somehow we managed to do the unthinkable and beat Lazio 3-1 at home. FA Cup again, and it's a 5-1 win against Derby. And can you guess who we get in the next round? Yeah, it's Manchester United. We head to the Bernabeu for a tough start with a back post header, giving them a 1-goal lead. A corner then gets whipped in, and it's another header, giving them a 2-goal lead. We do get one back, though, from a low drilled shot from Tezgal. We get a comeback, and it's going to be Gordon down the wing who's going to find Low, and he puts it in for a 2-2. But as you can see in the 90th minute, they push into our box, and somehow the ball comes to an open Lukanets, who drills it in for a 3-2 loss. We then get a 3-0 victory against Everton, which was definitely needed as we go through to the next round of the Champions League, where we draw Borussia Mönchengladbach. We then host Arsenal at the Bet365, and we haunt them with the long ball Tony Pulis style with a Low getting the goal for us. Saka does finish with a nice penalty there, but we do somehow get lucky as the ball pulls loose, and Low is going to double his tally for a 2-1 victory over Arsenal. But away from home, we're not so good as Newcastle give us a spanking of 3-0. First leg against Gladbach, and a cheeky training ground free kick gets us a lead. Another penalty though sees them pull it back to 1-1. A very nice counter-attack sees the French connection take the lead to 2-1. We then make it 3 with a great ball and a great finish from Wahi. We seal the deal with a very lucky goal in off the bar, and it's a little tap-in. A 4-1 victory. We then get a 1-0 win over Brighton, which sees us top of the table by 3 points. Our second leg sees the exact same result as another 4-1 victory over Gladbach. The draw's not that kind to us though, as we host Barcelona in the last 16. 3-2 win in the Premier League against Southampton. As we host Barcelona, they pass their way through to a 1-goal lead, and they double their lead with a well-worked ball into the box, and a lucky deflection sees it through for a 2-0 victory. Bounce back ability is in full form as we get a 4-1 victory over Nottingham Forest, and we go 2-2 with Barcelona. We do score 2 goals to make it 2-2 on aggregate, but they just a little bit too strong for us, and it is a 4-2 victory. A big win is needed against West Ham, and it ends up being a boring 0-0. United knock us out of the FA Cup as well. 4-0 victory. Shocking result. A 3-3 against Chelsea worries me as the form is not in the best and leaving Liverpool just 1 point behind us. Liverpool play Barca, which is massive for us because as you can see, we play them in just 2 days' time. And here it is, the biggest game of the Premier League this season, and we take a shortcut and it works wonders for us to give us a 1-goal lead. We then double our tally with an amazing ball and a finish equally as good by Krupi. Liverpool answer straight away. Nepan runs down that wing, and it's going to be none other than, yeah, you guessed it, Skip yet again scoring past us. And in the 83rd minute, it's going to be Liverpool gaining an equaliser. A ball down the left, a little bit of deflection, but it finds its way across the box, and it's an easy tap in for a 2-2. That still keeps us 1 point at the top of the table, though, and here's the run-in that we have for the rest of the season. I think we have the tougher run. As you can see there, we have Spurs, Villa, and also United still to play in the end of the season. One achievement I am proud of this year is making £26 million in profit. Liverpool do pick up a 3-0 victory to go top of the table, but we do have to play Spurs. We do travel to London, and a free kick gets floated into the box, and I've got to really question my defenders and my goalkeeper. What has just happened there? 1-0 Spurs. Spurs do double the tally though with a lovely finish on from the penalty spot. We come straight out, all guns blazing in the second half, and we pick up a great goal with a great finish from Renier. We do get an equaliser as Renier plays the ball in with a great assist, finding Krupi, who gets us a 2-2, and that is the points shared. We then pick up a big win at home against Brentford with a 3-1 victory. This unfortunately isn't enough as Liverpool do maintain that top spot. We play Manchester United, and Liverpool are going to play West Ham. I don't know what has happened with this Manchester United game, but I think there's some match fixing going on because these are 2 of the worst goals I have ever scored in a football match to give us a 2-goal lead. Luckily for us, though, West Ham do beat Liverpool, and that gives us the top spot. The next week, Liverpool bottle against Chelsea with a 1-0 victory to Chelsea. That means we are just 1 victory away from a Premier League title, and we have to play Aston Villa. This is the team that we're going to be going into this game. A title-winning chance, if you will. Kone is going to be playing for us in the centre, and also the French connection are going to be up top. We start very well, as I thought that was going to be offside for that ball over there, but it's carried on, and Krupi gives us a 1-goal lead. Redondo turns himself into a Mazzola as well. He's going to whip the ball in, and Renier somehow wins the header there and doubles our tally to 2-0. Villa mess up, and Kone gets that ball straight off him, finds Renier with a pass, who opens his body up and slots it away for a 3-0. Villa do put the scares on us as they do pick up a goal. It's the world's worst header, and it just finds Foster, and he just slots it away for a 3-1. Puts a little bit of panic on there, but somehow we manage to maintain the league. We get a 3-1 victory, and that is the first time ever you will hear me say that Stoke City are Premier League winners. We actually did it, and these boys have been absolutely phenomenal. Honestly, I have been one of my favourite saves here, just because of the plays and the connection they have. There's 2 strikers, the French connection up front. Absolutely love them boys of Krupi and also Wahi coming in there. We do have Samu as well. Redondo, who's been with us for so long, ever since we got to the Premiership. All these boys are just connected together and just been one wonderful, wonderful team. And I have got a soft spot for all these now. And they're always going to be remembered on as we lift up the Premier League title. What a feeling, and what a way to finally, and this is for serious now, we end this series with a bang. Guys, this has been an absolutely amazing series, and I can't thank you enough for watching it and checking it out. The comments have been amazing, and the views have been amazing, so thank you so much. And guys, I hope you did enjoy it, and there will be a full review and a full finals finale of this going out in a couple of days. So guys, thank you very much for joining me and checking out this content. It means the world to me. I'll catch you all next time. Much love and bye-bye from the Premier League winners.